So I have had a couple people send me the article, I guess, about the Vatican updating their policies or handling whatever it is for dealing with apparitions. I hate these. I hate them so much. Right now, in our society here on Earth, we are at a time of very heightened awakening. There are a lot of people activating and obtaining psychic abilities that pretty much all humans are capable of obtaining. It just depends on your will or desire or your life path, your soul contract, if you're entitled to use them, right? So with that being said, the veil is very thin right now. We've had a lot of solar flares. There's a lot of ascent. The planet is literally ascending. So it's like get on the right or get left type of thing. The Vatican is aware of this veil being very thin between the spiritual realm and the astral realms, if you will. So as a result, they're doing a little additional housekeeping, right? They want to let everybody know in advance that if you see apparitions, etc., before your local Catholic churches, I guess, cardinals, bishops, whatever, would be able to handle or diagnose these issues. They're saying that, however, most people will have these supernatural occurrences diagnosed only to later have the Pope decide that they were not these specific type of events. Now, if Susie or Bobby exhibit or come to the church and say that they are experiencing supernatural instances of any sort, what is going to happen is they are going to send that all the way up to the Pope now. The Pope is the only one that will be able to decide if this is in fact that. And get this, they're going to take into consideration the credibility of who is telling them. So some of you might be thinking, oh, Tosh, this doesn't sound that bad, right? We would probably want someone like the Pope determining what is supernatural and what is not, right? Y'all love having reptilians run stuff. I don't understand it. I don't get why. Anyway, I had a massive download today. I have been with Archangel Gabriel most of my week, learning, absorbing, getting beautiful insight that I'm very grateful for. Amazing knowledge. And to sum it all up, this is just another way to suppress society and their spiritual ascension, because they need to feed off of you. They need to have people, bodies, etc., energy to siphon off of, because that's literally what they do. So now they're going to make it very hard for people that do have supernatural experiences to be believed or be considered credible, because they want to also say, listen, not only as cardinals, bishops, whatever, can we not determine this, if this is supernatural or not truly. We're going to need our boss. We're going to need the Pope to determine it. We're going to decide if you're even a credible source. So what they'll probably do is use social media, things of that nature. They are going to also take into consideration if people have any mental health afflictions. Mental health afflictions are soul afflictions. So you're already someone that is pretty susceptible to having supernatural activity occur around you, demonic possession, things of those nature. So they're hoping for this, right? Because then when you come forward, because you're activating psychically and you're having experiences, they're going to gaslight you and tell you that, no, you're just crazy. That's not real. That didn't happen. Because they know the veil is very thin and they can't hide things any longer. That brings me to my next point, my next bone to pick with this Vatican. So I'm going to be honest. I thought this was pretty evil and pretty rude. I'm not going to lie. Pretty diabolical, which is to be expected from these people. But it brings me to my next point with the Vatican. They are already on stolen land. I want you guys to look up historically who actually used to hold the seat of the Vatican, and they're in Rome, Italy, back in ancient times. It was a matriarchal society, right? This was a seat held by black women, ancient Egyptian black prophetesses that are known as Pythonesses, okay? And they were the council for all of the rulers of the world. Anyone went to them for their divine knowledge. Even down to like the book of Psalms, which is essentially created by these Pythonesses, prophetesses / sibyls, whatever, oracles, whatever term you're comfortable with using, use that term. That's how the book of Psalms came. Now onto my download I got, because a lot of people keep saying there's things they're hiding in the Vatican. I mean, they hide everything, so no shit. I'm gonna start at the top. Number one, and y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but that's fine. But I truly do believe that they at the Vatican are housing Lucifer, whether or not they're aware of it or not. But I feel like they are. There are individuals within the hierarchy of the Vatican, the ranking of the Catholic Church, that are, like, literally, as they showed it to me in my vision, they're Black Lodge members. They are satanic cult Satanists that have infiltrated religion. Not just even the Catholic Church. I mean, it's like throughout all religions. So that is why we have Catholic priests that cannot stop fucking touching kids inappropriately and just being weird ass, nasty ass old perverts in the name of God. To further enhance my point that this is a very intentional act of suppression to keep you here entrapped and not spiritually ascended, by way of religion oftentimes, most of the time. Louisiana, their Supreme Court just beginning of April, ruled that priests have the right to not be sued for fucking kids. They think that's their priestly right. Look it up. I'm gonna put it here so you guys can see it. These again are all attempts to do anything they can to minimize, eradicate their evil tendencies, omit them, continue to hide them, so they can continue manipulating the world's energy, the world's power through all sorts of religion. And they're doing it off of stolen works too. They have an obelisk there at the Vatican that is from ancient Egypt. Okay, the obelisk has immense symbolism, okay, and meaning and spirituality and power from ancient Egypt, which is why it was transported there from, you guessed it, ancient Egypt, Kemet, right? So they took my Kemetic ancestors, obelisk, brought them over to this site because they need to continue to siphon off of their power, right? They're already sitting on the seat of ancient Egyptian black women for the most part, as it is, that hold extreme spiritual power here in this realm. They've perverted it. They've stolen the power. They've stolen the works. They've used them for their own gain. Now we're in a patriarchal society that is falling to shit because it is solely centered on religion that has been infiltrated by extremely evil beings that work for someone else. They literally have people, I saw it in my psychic vision, people that work for Lucifer in the church. Everyone needs to keep a very close eye on the news and accounts taking place coming through and from the Vatican, because they are about to unleash some evil intentionally. I mean, even down to the Pope. I don't want to hear it, so I don't want to hear anything in this comments like, oh, I saw what I saw. I know what I know. You guys are going to come back later and say something. If you look at the Vatican too, from a topography standpoint, when you look at like where they have the basilica and the obelisk, the way it looks like a key, right? A key, a portal, if you will. And that is why they will do anything they can to maintain that power and stay in that area, because they're siphoning energy off of energy that isn't their own. Like I said, the obelisk stands for great power, symbolizes Ra. It also symbolizes Asar, ancient Kemetic gods. It's a sign of rebirth, transformation, power, the sun. Come on. And there have been high-standing members of the church. There's been popes. There's been whatever. That one pope back in the 1960s, whatever, that admitted that Satanists had infiltrated the church and were all throughout and within the Vatican and throughout various religious sects as well, across this earthly plane. So this is not something I just pulled out of my ass. When the angels give me something, I share it. We need to keep an eye on them. They are up to no good, and you need to be mindful of the information you are getting through these sources, especially anything coming from the Vatican down. I want you to triple fact check it, okay? Because they're working off of stolen power. Anyway, these are not very godly people by any means, and they're doing a lot of things. You're going to keep seeing a lot of transformative like changes. They're amendments, if you will, as they're going to call it, updates, whatever. They're doing this as an act to suppress and gaslight people. They need to keep you in the spiritual state you're in they need to keep you in that 3D realm so they can siphon your energy, because if you ascend or elevate, you're of no use to them. You know what I mean? Essentially. So they know Earth's ascending. The veil is so thin, they can't hide things anymore. And now they're going to resort to what most evil people do, is gaslight you. That's what they're going to do. So anticipate more news coming out of the Vatican. And like my last video said, I think in January I did it, keep an eye on the Kaaba as well. There's like something coming with them also. I'll share that video again. But I might tell you a joke, but I won't tell you a lie. Okay? Watch those evil people. There is definitely something that they have there. In my vision, my channeling, I saw it's something underground. It is contained. A lot of people, again, I'm going to highlight, I think Lucifer is there contained, somewhat. A significant piece of his essence is what I'm told, or shown. And it's not like they're using it to contain it for safety purposes. They're using it for manipulation, so they can utilize it in the ways in which they want to utilize it. Again, I'm just the messenger. This is what I've seen. This is what I'm shown. There's also some sort of remnants, like I said, of the black prophetesses, the pythonesses that were there. Something there that's being perverted and utilized, like for power. So if you are someone that feels like you have been activating, okay, you feel like it is very possible you are activating, you are having experiences, you are seeing things, I highly recommend that you reach out to a spiritual advisor of some sort that you trust. If there's also someone within the church that you really do trust, I'm not trying to take anything away from religious people, because there are some very good people that this is their life path to be on a religious path, and I respect people's paths, whatever they choose, whether they're more on a knowledgeable Gnostic route in this lifetime or they're meant to go the religion route. Listen, whatever it is, I can still break down this information for you one way or the other. But if you do feel like you're being gaslit, or you go to someone within the church and you're not getting the response, or there's just some weird evil shit you've going on, reach out to your trusted spiritual advisor so that way you can get the help you need.